It was almost time to close when two men entered Phil's diner. They both wore caps while mufflers hid half their faces. Instead of sitting at one of the tables, they walked right up to the counter. One of the men pulled out a pistol and pointed it at Phil. "Give us all the money you have," he demanded. Phil immediately opened the cash box and started pulling out the cash. Unnoticed by them, Sally the waitress quietly slipped into the kitchen and called the police. However, she accidentally brushed against some boxes, which clattered to the ground. Hearing the noise, one of the armed thieves rushed there as well. However, Sally hid herself well, holding her breath and hoping that the police would arrive soon. Just then, the first thief called out, "Hey, we've got the cash. Let's get out of here." The two thieves rushed out straight into the waiting arms of the police. Hot air balloon. Tim loved to learn about how things worked. One day, Tim heard that some people were going to launch a hot air balloon from a nearby field. He begged and pleaded until his sister Fanny agreed to take him to watch. Early the next morning, he and Fanny went to the field. Soon, the balloon was filled with air and began to rise higher and higher. Suddenly, Fanny let out a cry of dismay. Tim had clung onto one of the anchoring ropes and was now dangling in midair. The crowd on the ground waved and gestured frantically, but the people in the balloon could not understand. When they finally realized what had happened, they pulled Tim up into the basket of the balloon. He was cold, bruised, and exhausted and apologized sincerely. So the engineer of the balloon promised to take him up on the next flight. The accident. Evan was driving carefully down the mountain. However, as he rounded a bend, he saw a large truck headed straight for him, driving on the wrong side of the road. Evan swerved sharply, trying to avoid the truck. But the road was narrow and Evan's car went flying over the side of the mountain. Evan quickly undid his seatbelt and wrenched open his door. With one last prayer, he leapt out of the falling car. He grabbed wildly at the hillside as he fell and luckily got a hold on a stout, almost dead birch tree. For a moment, he just hung there, catching his breath. Far below, Evan heard the sickening crunch of his car hitting the rocks. Then he slowly and painfully pulled himself up to a safer perch on the tree that had saved his life. For above, a crowd had gathered. Soon people let down ropes to help him climb back up. They could hardly believe his miraculous escape. The bridge. Pip and Molly were playing in their grandmother's garden. After a while, they became bored. So Pip said, "Let's explore the woods." There was a thick forest near their grandmother's house, and they were not allowed to go there alone. But today, since no one was looking, the two naughty children ran in. After walking a short distance, they came to a rickety old bridge across a stream. The moment they stepped on it, it creaked and groaned loudly. Still, the children ran across till Pip reached the middle of the bridge. He stepped right through the rotting wooden board. He was stuck with his leg dangling through the bridge. Molly tried hard to pull him out, but to no avail. Then she got a stone and tried to break the wood around his leg. Soon they were able to widen the hole enough for him to pull his leg out. They were relieved and ran straight back home.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.